2024 was easily the best year I've had. So I got to meet Russel Orhii. Just the amount of money that came from that one brand deal, 2 retainer deals, it's just opened so many doors potentially for me to work with other brands now. In retrospect, when I really think back and I'm reflecting on 2024, I think about all the people that I've met. From all the ASRV creators that I've linked up with, all of this happened because of Instagram and TikTok and just creating content.
Hey, J-Scoop.
What's up guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Happy New Year's, 2024 just passed. And I don't know for you, but like for me, 2024 was easily the best year I've had. So many great things happened. It was very rewarding, but like it's just helped me in so many ways, from like working with so many different brands like ASRV, Browns, Mount to Coast now. It's just opened so many doors potentially for me to work with other brands now. I've met so many great people that I would have never imagined that I would ever meet as a creator. And I've also met certain people I used to kind of like idolize or like watch on YouTube on this platform, and like financially too, right? With all like the deals and sponsorships, it's just been a crazy but really rewarding ride. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's get into it. So for those who have been following me since day one, you know exactly like just how crazy the ride's been, right? I used to literally make the most cringy videos for TikTok in the same bedroom right now. The same bedroom that I'm like recording this video at. To now like actually seeing the rewards. But I really want to use this video to kind of like highlight the things I did to kind of that got me to 2024, because I've essentially been creating since 2020, but there's a few things that I did in the last 2 years, starting really in 2023, that really, I guess, put me at that level where I started to see financial gains. I started to open more doors and open more possibilities of working with these big brands. And just highlighting the key points that I'm going to go over, they're going to be financial growth. So just how content has really given me more money, I guess, because you know, you create for money now at this point, how it's impacted me personally, and all the new opportunities that it's given me in terms of just everything. I started creating content way back in 2020, okay? I wasn't necessarily too serious with it at that time or too consistent. I didn't really have a plan, but that's kind of like what everyone needs to kind of go through, right? You really just need to kind of like start, and that's what I did. I remember my first video, and Yasmin actually helped me film this. It was in her basement. Obviously during the pandemic back in 2020, all the gyms were closed, and I couldn't go to the gym either. So I was just trying to be creative in terms of like, oh, like how can I work out? And I literally, it's the infamous, and if you know, you know, you've been here since day one, you fucking know. But it's the infamous vinegar bottle video, literally where I'm like just rowing a bottle of vinegar, and I like kind of created a workout plan based off of like the tools and like tables I had in the house. It's just super hilarious thinking back to it, because it's like, damn, I'm like, I like every time I think about that video, I get like chills, but like they're bad chills. I get like, I cringe. I can't believe I really did that, and I can't believe Yasmin actually like supported me and let me hit post and to like share that online. Thankfully it didn't go viral or anything, and it like did poorly, so I'm forever grateful for that. But like at the same time, you kind of think about it, right? In hindsight, if I hadn't hit post on that video, no matter how bad or cringe that video was, there's no way I would be here today speaking to you guys and sharing my experience and how it's just helped me financially, personally, and all these other things, right? And like, don't get me wrong, like throughout the journey up until mainly like 2023, I would say, and like, or even like mid 2022, I thought about quitting like so many times, but it was just like with any other thing, and it always ties back to working out and fitness, because I think like for me as a personal experience, starting to work out was the pain point, but once I started to see the rewards, that's when I really got consistent and addicted to creating content. And for me, I realized with all things, it could be starting a business, could be working out, could be creating content, whatever it is, you really need to fall in love with the process and not the outcome, right? You can't just be in love with the idea of what success is. You really need to kind of like learn the game and fall in love with doing the things that will get you to whatever outcome you want to get to. Anytime I felt like I wanted to quit, I kind of just brought it back to, you know, fitness and where I was at one point, because I never liked working out. I was never consistent, and I was never like athletic, but it kind of got to a point where I just knew if I showed up every day, you know, 4 to 5 times a week or whatever the workout routine was, I would make a sizable difference in my life, and it did. And that's kind of the same approach I took with content. But like what really made a difference for me in those 2.5 years of just consistently grinding is just creating a piece of content every single day. And a lot of people can attest to this. I was posting pretty much every single day without missing a single day on Instagram and TikTok. And I think that for me at least paid dividends, because every post I made, as the days and as the years gone by, I would try to better myself, even if it was like 1%, as cliche as that sounds. And like little by little, no matter how much you improve or how little you improve, as long as you're improving, those days, they literally stack up. With all things, that's the same approach I took with content. It's just about slowly progressing. Today, my understanding of content obviously has grown like thousands of percent in comparison to 2020 Billy when I first started creating content. And the only reason I accumulated all that knowledge was because of my almost like I was borderline obsessive with social media and borderline obsessive with my content and how I can make better content for you guys. But anytime a brand would reach out and they'd be like, hey, like we want to send you something, if you just create a reel or create a TikTok for me, that'd be dope. And I would accept it in a heartbeat. I wanted to prove my worth to not only that brand but like to other brands too who may see my work. And I think like around like June of 2023, that's when I finally got a DM from ASRV, and that's kind of what led to my first sponsorship with ASRV. I don't necessarily want to say that I was creating content specifically to get like a sponsorship, but with ASRV, when they reached out in June, that just instilled a lot of confidence in me, because I think during that time as well, just like there's a lot of doubt in your mind as a creator sometimes, because you're always beholden to the algorithm. As a creator, you can be very, very artistic, and you want to put different pieces of content that aren't really favorable for the algo, and that's gonna hurt your engagement, that's gonna hurt your views and all that. And I think like when I got that call from ASRV, to me it was just like, okay, I'm on the right path, because ASRV, not only like they produce really, really great clothes, but like their content is just on another level. And for them to kind of reach out to me and say, hey, like we really love your content, we'd love for you to kind of join our team, at that point I was like, whoa, okay, like I needed to reassess, because a really big brand, a really popular brand too, they're seeing the value in me. It was time for me to see the value in myself. That really helped me as a creator grow, and it really gave me the confidence that I think I really needed at that time to kind of like grow and propel to being the creator I am today in 2024. And I kid you not, like 2 months later, I was like, okay, well, this is dope. I think when I first started out creating content, I was like, oh, it'd be so dope to get like a sponsorship from like a clothing company. Check. Done. The second thing I'd love to do is like get a sponsorship for like supplements, so I don't have to pay for supplements anymore. 2 months later, I got the call from Transparent Labs, and I'm also forever grateful for them, because the way they communicate and the way they kind of like integrate the team, it's very dynamic, and it's very just like I love my manager and I love TL because they're so good. So all that kind of happened mid 2023, and it really, really happened fast, and it kind of just like slapped me in the face and kind of woke me up, and it was like, you know what? You're doing the right thing. Just show up like you've been showing up, be consistent, and just keep getting better. Like that was your philosophy, Billy. You just continue to get better every single day. You just continuously need to get better, and you need to stop comparing yourself to other people. You need to see the value in yourself. And those were the philosophical ideas or the lessons that I kind of took into 2024. Like throughout the entire journey too that led up to this point, there was a lot of not only doubt in my mind, but I think a lot of doubt in other people's mind as well. And I always hear this saying too, but it's just so true, right? But like, you're cringe until you make it. I remember going to the gym and like, you know, I was like, I'm gonna bring my tripod and I'm gonna film a workout and I'm gonna do it. I've been saying I wanted to do it. I've been sleeping on this. You know, I've been thinking about this idea for like months now. I am going to act on it. And I did it. No one really said much to me. In the back of my head, I could tell certain people in the gym were kind of like judging me in a way, right? And I feel like that's fine. And I don't really hold any grudges to people like that. But about like a year after I started filming myself in the gym consistently, one of the guys actually came up to me and he was like, hey man, firstly, like I respect what you're doing on social media now. Like, you know, I see your content on my FYP or For You page on TikTok all the time. And I can't lie to you, but like a year ago when you just first starting out and you bought like a tripod, I was like, who's this like Asian kid like filming himself? Like, who does he think he is? But now like I see the progression, I see the idea. And for me to hear that, I guess like it's just like, I guess like it reassures me that a lot of people will have their own perceptions of you, and they may not see what you're seeing like in here, like your dreams and your passions or whatever. But if you kind of just like find a way to ignore it And thankfully he didn't like confront me in person, like at that time when I was just like scared to even bring a tripod to the gym, because who knows, I might have just like quit right there, right then and there. So shout out to you for not doing that. But like not everyone's gonna have like that same vision as you when it comes to your dreams and it comes to your passion. So it's really important for you to kind of like find a way to kind of block out all that noise and to be, I guess, like tunneled vision. Like fuck the distractions and like fuck all that noise, right? And so focused on your own goal that you're not really concerned about what other people have to say about you. So finally, in this year, in 2024, this is the year I really started to see financial gain. And obviously, being transparent with you guys, as you probably heard from like this journey, it did not happen overnight. I think in the first half of 2024, I really spent more of my time just like placing more value in myself and placing more value in my content. And I was like, I think I deserve to get paid. And this is kind of when I really needed support from my friends and Yaz as well, just to like even like consider that. I remember shooting my very first email just to like say, hey, like, you know, I'd love to work, but like these are my rates. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't even know what my rates were at that time. I was just kind of guessing. But for them to kind of come back with a counter offer, I was like ecstatic, because this would have been my first ever paid brand deal. It's just kind of like placing that value in myself and kind of understanding that, you know, you deserve some form of compensation. You just kind of like need to shoot your shot. Right. And that's kind of what I did in the first half of 2024. For like the latter half of 2024, I was able to get 2 retainer deals. So 2 retainer deals, basically what that means is you're being paid a certain amount every month. These are your deliverables. You just have to follow it. I think a one-off brand deal will technically pay more than retainer deals, at least from my experience. But like one-off brand deals aren't always as consistent. Whereas I value retainer deals, even if it's less money, because I know money's going to be coming in. My ultimate goal is to quit a 9-to-5, and the only way I can ever make that happen is with retainers. At that point, I know money's going to be coming in. I know what I can use to pay certain bills, whatever. But in 2024, not only did I get 2 retainer deals, but I think my single biggest, I guess, brand deal that I got that like really was just a shock to me was my campaign with Brown's shoes. It's just kind of crazy because like you see Brown's shoes at like every single mall here in Canada, right? I used to walk into Brown's shoes with my mom, and we didn't really do too much shopping there. Just to kind of see it in all these malls, you know, you grow up kind of like going in with your friends, checking the shoes out and like walking out, and like maybe you'll purchase something if you had enough money. To me, like kind of like creating a piece of content for them. And it was the most I've made since, right? And I think this campaign happened in November, I believe. So it's only been a few months, but like just the amount of money that came from that one brand deal, I was like, man, this is crazy. Like I know my value. Like this is what I should be getting. I guess for me, it was like Billy. Like for me to like for me to tell myself that like, you know, I was right this entire time. Like, you know what? Like there are brands who are willing to pay, you know, a good amount of money for your skills and for your content. It was just a matter of just kind of placing that same belief in yourself and valuing yourself in that same way. And honestly, like Browns, that happened because of my team. So they kind of like helped me do a little outreach to their contacts, and they helped me facilitate that deal. So I'm like forever grateful for you guys. But there's other brand deals that I kind of facilitated, did my own outreach. And I think like for the most part, that's helped me grow as a creator, and that's kind of brought me in a good amount of money as well. And it's really just a DM that you send. That's literally it. You want to shoot a DM, and you want to just kind of like build an authentic relationship with whoever that social media manager is, or whoever like deals with their athletes or whatever it is, right? And if you ask 2023 me to be doing that, asking all these brands to pay me, I would be deathly afraid and I wouldn't do that. So that's kind of like how I progressed from 2023 to 2024. Just to understand like, you know, you're worth it, and to kind of like shoot your shot. And that, honestly, that one single tip in terms of just drafting an email, drafting a DM, and shooting it to brands has brought me like a good amount of money too. And I think this year, to wrap up 2024 from a financial standpoint, like I've made, I think like a decent amount to kind of like have enough to pay for most of the bills for me on a day-to-day basis. I think for the first time in my life and my content creation journey, I can kind of like take a step back and kind of like breathe. I can finally like use a good amount of my creator fund, if you want to call it that, to like pay for bills, to pay for certain things, to help my family, you know, to do all sorts of things. And more importantly, I feel confident enough now at this point to kind of like invest back into my content in terms of like upgrading, my computer, upgrading my camera, buying a drone, buying a new lens that I'm filming on right now. you know, all these little things, right? It just kind of allowed me to really just plan for the future. But as a creator, it's definitely impacted my personal life. It's impacted my relationships and whatnot too. Because like it's really hard. Like as a creator, you are bringing your camera everywhere essentially, and you're almost filming everything. And sometimes you don't really get to just like kind of live in the moment. And like not only are you filming everything, but like everything you film, you kind of have to go back to your computer or whatever software you use to edit. You need to put in the work. Literally, I think from 2020 to 2023, I was averaging 5 to 6 hours of sleep every single day because I was just learning new skills. I was learning new softwares in DaVinci Resolve, how to color grade. I was staying up to like 4 a.m. managing like a 9 to 5 job as well, just trying to like figure things out, how to better my skills. And it was a very, very tough time from 2020 to 2023 as a content creator because you don't see any money coming back to you. You're literally, like I said, you're just doing shit for free. You're working for free. But like it was all worth it at the end of the day. And I think like my advice to any aspiring creators is really just need to find a balance between like hustling, grinding, and just working your tails off to like finding a time to kind of reset and getting that 8 hour sleep day. Because at the end of the day, your health is wealth. And if you're too sick to work, you ain't creating any pieces of content. And being completely honest with you, when I was in those growing phases as a content creator, I barely spent any time with my partner. I probably like outside of my creator friends, I didn't see anyone else. And that may sound like I'm exaggerating, but like I literally did not see anyone else. I didn't party, I didn't do any of that shit. I was solely obsessed with just figuring content out because I knew this is what I wanted to do. So content creation as a whole has given me so much. In retrospect, when I really think back and I'm reflecting on 2024, I think about all the people that I've met. From all the ASRV creators that I've linked up with, Kevin Nguyen, Ben, Saad. Fuck, there's a whole lot of you that I can't even like, there's just a lot of people that I met, like Eli that I met, Cole I wish I met when I was in LA, Shifty Sammy that I met when I was in LA. Like I got to meet some of my like favorite YouTubers, right? So I got to meet Russel Orhii, and the story behind that is actually like it's insane because it's crazy to me because of how it happened. So me and the boys, we all planned a trip to Houston because we wanted to go visit Alpha Land. We wanted to go visit all these other crazy gyms in Texas, in Houston, because we knew that was like the mecca of like fitness. So literally I'm packing the day before I was leaving for Houston, and I get a notification, and it literally says Russel Orhii has followed you. And I've been following Russel Orhii since like 2020. At least on this account. I've been following him way before that on my other account. When he followed me, I instantly DM'd him, and I'm like, brother, I don't even wait. Let me read you the DM. Yeah, so what I said to him is August 23rd, okay? So I said, I'm pulling up to Houston tomorrow, bro. Always been a huge fan of yours since the Squat Everyday times on YouTube. And he responds, oh damn, that's wild, man. I appreciate that for real. Your videos are fucking amazing. I followed because I wanted to study your stuff. What brings you to H-Town? So when he said that, right, he said he liked my content. Like for him to say that, it was just like crazy because of so many like things. Like, okay, firstly, it's like I grew up watching you, and I like used to be invested in powerlifting because of you. I basically started working out because of you as well. And now I'm coming to Houston. And the craziest thing is that like he also said that he loved my videos, or he liked my videos. Did he say love or like? I don't remember. But anyways, it doesn't matter. But like I used to watch him and Duhan cook up these crazy videos for YouTube and Instagram. And I'd be like, yo, like, how did he do this? Like, how do they cook this shit up? And like and like at that point, I had no videography skills. I'd never picked up a camera before, and I said this is what I wanted to create. This is the level, and this is what I wanted to like invoke. This is the type of feeling I wanted to invoke in others. It was such a full circle moment for me, and that was just like so crazy because I actually ended up going to Houston obviously the next day, and we ended up meeting. We ended up linking, right? I got to see him, bench an insane amount of weight, and I got to like film him a little too. But what's even more crazy is that we all went out for dinner together. It's just like, to me, like it's just such a full circle moment for me, because everything just kind of like went in a loop, and it all just met at this point, and it all just kind of like worked out for me. So actually, I want to show you a picture. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so this is actually, we all took a fucking photo too. So this is Kev right here. That's me. That's the other Kev. We got Ben, and then Russ. Ben, by the way, never ever had sushi until this day, which is like the most insane thing ever. Like, how do you not have sushi, bro? Like, what? It was just such a dope and surreal experience to be able to like meet someone I used to watch, and kind of like got me into working out. And I've said this just so many times already, but it was just a full circle moment. All of this happened because of Instagram and TikTok and just creating content. It's just so nice to kind of like have a community of people that have the same vision as you and that believe in the same thing and that are doing the same thing, because you can share your frustrations and they understand it. And it's just nice too, because like now we're all in a group chat and we're just all like always bouncing ideas off of each other. We're always planning trips and group trips. And I think that type of camaraderie, bonding, I guess, if you will, like I didn't really have it all my life. And to kind of find that through a passion is it's very humbling, and it's very like, I don't know what the word is. I don't want to say rewarding because I don't think it's a reward, but like it's just very like, makes me feel very thankful and grateful to like the man above, and like just to everything and everyone, and like everything that I kind of went through in the past years in terms of like, even like before content, in terms of like just not knowing what I wanted to do with my life. Because it kind of all led up to this. I guess like the key takeaways from this entire video is to really just kind of like shoot your shot, pursue your dreams, and just pursue your passion and love what you do first. Everything else would kind of come. Like I never really got into content thinking like, I always knew the money was here, but I never really got into content thinking like, oh, like I'm gonna do it for the money. You know, I need money, so I'm gonna make content. I really just did it because I was really passionate about just creating things like Nike, creating things like ASRV, creating things like, you know, these crazy spec ads, and to kind of like do it in my own way now, and to kind of see it pay off. It's just been extremely I'm just grateful, and I'm just, you know, I'm at a loss for words. As you can tell, I'm literally at a loss for words because I don't know what to say. But I think like for any other like creators, like you really just need to fall in love with the process and the results will follow, I promise you. Just anytime you're thinking about quitting, just think about how far you've already come. That's always helped me too. And just like to understand that like everything is supposed to be difficult at the start, but it only gets better if you don't quit. It may not get easier, but it'll get better. Just like from a personal growth standpoint too, like if it doesn't align, it's not worth your time. But most importantly, with anything in life, business, content, fitness, whatever it may be, two major important things in life is being consistent and being disciplined. You know, showing up when you don't want to show up. Like you may not be the best at something, but like even just being consistent and being disciplined will get you very, very, very far in life. If you're like a content creator too, the best time's now. You really just gotta like muster up the courage and just hit that post button. I don't care how cringy your piece of content is. If you have an idea and you've already filmed it and edited it, hit that post button, man. It's almost like an initiation phase that everyone needs to go through. You need to like post something cringy in order to succeed. You need to go through these growing pains. And if you don't kind of like get over that fear of failing, the fear of being cringe, you're never really gonna like start or get to that outcome that you want to get to. And lastly, I just wanted to like, obviously we're in a new year, so I'm like really excited to hear about your goals. You can obviously leave your comments on the YouTube video, but I just wanted to kind of like take this moment as well just to thank all of you guys. So, you know, I think I'm like 1,200 subs now, or almost 1,300. All of you guys, everyone on Instagram that's watching this video, all my 200K followers combined, shout out to you guys, because every like, every share, comment, whatever, they like, it helps. Like, and I don't think you guys really understand that. I'm a creator who knows the game a little more now, I would say. Your unwavering support, magnitude of likes, and all these other things, like it all matters, and it's really impactful, even if it's just a single one. So that's the end of the video. I'd be interested to hear about like your journey, as in whatever. It could be fitness, it could be content creation, but what's something that you guys have been kind of working on that hasn't paid off yet, but you know will be paying off soon, very soon? Leave it in the comments. Let's have a discussion. But we'll be back to building a credo in the following week. Samples should be coming in soon. So yeah, happy New Year's, and thanks for listening.